Welcome to episode 2 of the ACC's Netball podcast court session. My name is Sam Winders, once again joined by the lovely Erina Mikaere. Did I say episode 2 or episode 3? It's episode 3, people. And we are here covering the second game of the SIlver Ferns road to victory in the World Cup. And they played Uganda last night. In the end, it was a convincing 10-goal win, but we're here on a beautiful sunny day in Invercargill. I'm not sure actually, Erina, what it's like where you are.
Well, Sammy, again, I'm not in Australia. I'm in Auckland.
You wish.
I do wish, but not long. I'm going over there soon with the NZ over 30s mix, like I explained yesterday. But I'm in Auckland and it's been raining, and then it's kind of. Yeah, I don't know why people would not know what the weather is, but it's raining. I'm exhausted. Sorry for keeping you waiting, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was the hold up? Was it flooding or something on the roads in Auckland? I hear that's quite a common occurrence up those ways.
Oh, yeah, maybe from the stadium to the car where I have to go where it's really quiet so I could talk to you. But yeah, they all say it was that. But no, I was just running around. Actually, it's probably all the strapping tape that's holding me together.
Oh, that's the SIlver Fern, a netball player's best friend, right? Strapping tape.
Exactly. I think I'm the only one like strapped ankles, knees, elbow. But I said prevention is the best help. Worry about me.
We don't want the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. We want, what's the saying?
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, however that ends.
When you're ready,
anyways.
Right? Stay ready.
Well, that's good to hear, E. I'm looking forward to hearing how your over 30s mix situation goes.
What have you been up to while I've been mucking you around?
Oh, well, I've just been having some great quality yarns. I've been having a lovely cooked breakfast this morning, watching some netball highlights on the telly.
The netball highlights.
Yeah.
Any of them New Zealand and Uganda? Because Uganda, man.
Hard. That was a highlight. I don't know if people expected it. Actually, funny story. I was at church this morning, and that, I tell you, next to the online netball download chat, that is the next best place to hear some yarns from some netball fans. I tell you.
What did you get out of it, Sammy? What were they happy with Uganda? Were they happy with New Zealand?
Yeah, well, one lady came up to another lady, this happened in front of me, and she goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't even watch netball because I'm sure it would have been a big blowout. Was that right, Mary?" Mary goes, "Well, no, actually, dear, it was pretty close, and I had my biting my fingernails a bit there for the SIlver Ferns, and boy, oh boy, have they got some work to do." So yeah, that's a bit of a rundown there for you people. Uganda lost to the SIlver Ferns by 10 goals, which is the closest that they've ever come to the SIlver Ferns. And in comparison to the game before, when it took 6 minutes for the opposition to score, Uganda got in with the first goal, and they pushed the Ferns the whole way.
Right. They were awesome. And speaking of Mary at church, Mary, quite contrary. Mary Cholo. How do you say her name? Choholok?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's the shooter for Uganda, Whānau, and she's over 2 meters tall. She was on. She was good. She was obviously, player of the game. For me, actually, with Mary, but scary because what do we do when we come up against Jamaica? Because that's going to be our, Mary was just the start. To me, Mary was like the middle evolution of Janelle Fowler. So I'm talking Pokemon here, Whānau. Pokemon. You've got Grace Nweke at the start of the evolution, because I reckon that's where she's heading. Grace Nweke, and then you've got Mary. I think she's in the middle evolution, and then you've got Janelle Fowler. So yeah, that's me. That's my view.
And where does Pikachu fit into this? That's all I know about Pokemon.
Yeah, no, Pikachu wasn't. Actually, Pikachu might have been that little wing attack.
Oh, she was good. She was fiery.
I loved her. She came on, and she was great. Tiny, but good.
I don't know the exact stat about it, but I definitely know that there's a few of those girls in that Ugandan team who are actually police women in Uganda. So they're tough bitches, right?
I feel like you're making this up, but that's cool. Police woman.
It's a good thing. It's a tough ass thing to make up.
What do you have to do to be a policewoman in Uganda? You don't know?
I can only imagine it would be hunting down poachers and
jumping fences.
And
I heard you got to run really long distance. There's a distance. You know how we do the yo-yo? I heard there's a testing that you have to run like for miles. So no wonder they did well against New Zealand. I was happy with that. I'm sure they were happy.
They were happy. Speaking of happiness, that is what I also loved about watching this Ugandan team, because I don't know if anybody watched it, it's a 9:00 game over in South Africa. So it's going to be quite hard for, the locals to get there. But there's a bit of a...
like 9 in the morning or 9 at night?
Sorry, 9 in the morning, yeah. So there's a big crowd, a sea of black in the middle of the stand. And that's Irene van Dijk's tour, the netball fans that have gone over with Irene. And then you got little pockets of Ugandan fans who did not sit down the whole game. They're jumping around, they're waving their flag, they're singing, they're dancing. Like, they made way more noise than all those sea of black New Zealand fans put together. And that is the joy of netball. Would you agree, E?
Oh, 100%. Speaking of that, Sammy, I feel like we could take a tour, and we do that, and all our job is to get up and get up and get them to dance. If we see anyone, like we have little things, kind of like the bingo. If we ever saw someone, if they pass over a third or they step, we got to do the cha or something. Get in there, enjoy it, have fun.
I love that. And you can see it on the bench as well. Like, the team itself is just so stoked to be part of it, which, is what that was one of our bingo things, just happy to be here. But they genuinely look happy to be there. Whereas New Zealand is such a serious sporting country, and so are all our sport fans. Like, we've talked about it a lot in the netball sport arenas, is that sports fans in New Zealand, they know their shit, so they sit at home or they sit on the sidelines and they judge you and they critique everything that you're doing. Just like the old ladies at church, they always have something to say. And I think we can be way better at that, right? Like, you and I have both experienced some very hostile stadiums, but they're actually our home stadiums, and the tension is so high.
100%. You know what? And what gets me is lots of them are either like, they're not coaches, but they are coaches. So you walk past and it always gets me. I love it. I love a kōrero and I love to listen, but sometimes I'm just like, how am I meant to listen to, I don't know your name, one, and if you have any, like, are you Nolene? Because you're out here telling me I should be, you should just stick to the front and stay on the body. And I'm like, sister, we're playing space, and I would get shot if I did that. I'd be taken off the court. I want my position, so I'm doing what the coach says, or man. What is it, Sammy? Why is it?
I think that the road to the top in New Zealand seems more realistic for a small sporting nation than it would in a really massive one. I think most people in New Zealand who are interested in sports know someone or know of someone through somebody else who plays in a national team. And so when it looks more realistic, you're more likely to get those people who think, oh, well, if they can do it, then maybe if I had just applied myself at high school a bit better and, gone to all the trainings, to be honest, I'll probably be an All Black right now. That's kind of the vibe that I get. People think that if they had just tried a bit harder, they would have been there. Yeah, that it's easy to be there.
Yeah. Or the fact that, Erina did it. She went to my school. Yeah. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. And if I just applied myself a little bit better. Yeah, I see that. I see it. Yeah, I do. I think we do all experience that. Or, it's the classic, my cousin could have been there. But,
have you, we get this a lot, eh? Do you know
my
such
auntie?
And such? Yeah. She plays netball when you're coaching, eh? When you're coaching young kids, you get the classic, the young kid goes, my auntie plays netball, when you're doing a question answer session. My auntie plays netball.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it. They're so funny, right? They're so funny. It's the ones that you love when they say, my auntie plays for the Magic, and you're just, which one's your auntie? Name someone and you're like, I have no idea who that is. And you're just like, yep, yeah, I know her. Carry on. Especially little soul.
I'm sure she plays for the West Side City Magics.
I never thought of it like that. I just thought they were played with me. Oh my goodness. Love it.
Oh, that's good. Well, so moving ahead. So obviously that was a really tight game. And the SIlver Ferns have to back it up, just like every other team. They back it up again tomorrow against Singapore. And then this is where the competition gets a bit tricky. And it's a bit hard to follow because if you look online at the schedule, nothing's set in stone yet until
they only had 3 games, right?
Yes.
If we look at it, they only had 3 games.
Yeah, I know. It can be quite confusing, eh? The general public who don't know otherwise are like, oh, well, so they play 3 games and then it's semis and finals. No. So what happens is top 3 teams in each pool cross over. So we're going to end up playing another 3 pool games against probably, this is my prediction anyway, Jamaica, South Africa, and Wales is my prediction. So we're going to have another 3 games against them, and out of that, we get a top 4. So it's cutthroat. You basically have to win every game from here on out to make it to the playoffs. But what I want to talk about is this is a World Cup, right? This is the pinnacle event. They only have it every 4 years. Mm-hmm. And they're squeezing 8 games into 10 days. Tell me another World Cup where games are 60 minutes long.
And you pump them all into that short amount of time.
Since when? Like, I know the Football World Cup, for instance, they're playing every 4 days or something like that, which is pretty jam-packed, to be honest. And the Rugby World Cup, which is coming up later in the year, like these events go for weeks and weeks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is our pinnacle event. And it's just smashed into 10 days. I'm like, are we trying to?
Fittest.
Yeah, it is. Seriously, is the battle of the fittest.
Yeah. It's the poor other teams who just like, you didn't even have that much time together, or the small countries who.
Yeah. Do they even have a strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah, or a high performance, structure set up because, They probably don't even know all about that. They just go, let's go practice running that amount of games in that many days, but then you're just blowing out players.
Mm. Yeah, and I fingers crossed nobody gets injured, but I've heard Lenise Potgieter isn't well, and she hasn't actually played yet, in South Africa potentially looking at having to bring in one of the other players. So I just think of player safety for starters, having to play that many games. It's so hardcore. Netball, whatever you want to say out there, people, netball is totally a contact sport. People who say netball's not a contact sport actually don't know the rules, because you are allowed a certain level of contact so long as it doesn't interfere with somebody's like running line or whatever. So it is a contact sport. But these girls train in the gym multiple times a week, and they don't just train in the gym to look good, right? They train in the gym to get tough, which is also, I want to see some fisticuffs flying, because that's a real one. That would test some physicality, of course. But yeah, I just think that it's unfair to the players to get the best out of it. And I'm just really questioning the setup of a World Cup. Like, can we call it a World Cup? Can we call it the best event in the world when it's so jam-packed?
What would you want to see? What would you want to see?
At least 2 days break between games, surely.
All right, we can push it to them. I feel like that would be much better for the players, right? Body can recover, but it might be harder getting up that next day, but hey. So you were speaking about Lenise Potgieter. I saw something on obviously online. I'm watching. You know what? How we're talking about tall poppy syndrome? The keyboard warriors were out in full force yesterday.
Give it to me.
I was like, what is going on? So I just want to know, I don't know if you watched, but Malawi, what happened? Because there was a lot going on with Kamwenda refusing to wear a bib during the England match. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on, but they were going to town asking, talking about her. She's a difficult player. And they don't know. Once again, they're unsure what went on. They don't know. So they're just out here. That is the funny thing. And just speaking of when people come out, keyboard warriors, Sammy, are you pregnant? Because I'm seeing questions on here that you must be pregnant because you have not signed a contract. And maybe that's the thing. You're like, maybe you're just... Well,
of course, the way that's going to get announced is on a blooming... netball page, of course. No,
obviously.
So to answer that, no, but I find it interesting that people are that concerned with my
exactly.
Private
But,
life.
Do you know, I can't even pronounce the name that the question, so I'm pretty sure that person doesn't know you. And someone said to me the other day, someone said to me the other day, which I thought was hilarious, that they knew why Bailey retired. And I was like, oh, correct. And told me some other thing. I was like, no, she was just ready to finish. So that just made me laugh. That's a little bit there. But so apparently, according to the people of the news, that she was angry at the coach for benching her, so she refused to come back on. But we don't know if that's true because they really know.
Wondered.
Yeah.
There's a lot of netball to get through, and even though I don't mind the netball, I'm not going to sit down and watch hours and hours of it because I'm not that obsessed. I got other stuff on in my life, and that's cool. But I did watch the highlights of that game, and I wondered where she had gone. It's like, sis, you got to get back out here. But the thing is, Mike and Wenda is. So the Malawi are called the Malawi Queens, and I have heard in Malawi those girls are literally treated like royalty. Wow. They could not walk down the street without getting bombarded.
Stop it. Does that happen in Invercargill?
Oh, basically. It's the same. Oh, yeah. So I'm speaking from experience. I know what it's like.
I love that. The Malawi Queens, I'm here for it. Like, I feel like this is a thing that needs to happen. Like, just don't be whakama. Don't be shamed. Go say hello. If that, instead of staring at them and be like, oh, she thinks she's all that. She plays for SIlver Ferns. Like the Malawi Queens, they must be like, oh, sister queen. Yeah, that's my view.
That's beautiful. Oh, anyway, well, should we double check in our bingos?
Yeah, let's double check in our bingo. But before we go there, can we just say Tonga gave Australia a run for their money. Cat Latu. I'm here for her highlight reel. Anyway, yes. What's the bingo? Give me the bingo.
Tonga are going to get a mention every day, I reckon. Because
I feel like they should.
Yeah. They're one of them. They actually one of many exciting teams in this competition.
Yeah. Okay, so legs 11. What's on the bingo?
Oh,
is it
righty.
7 Heaven? I don't know the cause, but you can give it to us, Sammy.
Yeah, actually, 7 Heaven is commentators saying take a bow. I thought a commentator said take a bow, but she said something like read so well. And I was like, did you say take a bow? But she didn't. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm still waiting for that.
I heard Taco Bell. But Karen. Sorry. Maybe I'm hungry. Number 1 was a close-up on Noling saying, well done. Or
definitely tick that off. Definitely tick that off.
Did we? I thought she was just doing squats up and down.
Yeah, so she did both. So she started off the game quite stationary in her seat, just, with the old well done sort of thing.
Oh,
so
nice.
We got that. But then later on in the game, the score was tied and there was lots going on. So she was up, down, up, down, up, down. She was doing Bring Sally Up squat version. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but played that song. And when they say, bring Sally up.
Stand up. Bring Sally down. Squat.
So who knows? Maybe the stadium had that song playing in the background, but there you go.
Maybe.
So tick that one off.
Nice. Number 2.
Oh, lots of takeaways. Respect the opposition. Grateful to be here. Captain interviews.
Did you listen to them this time?
I didn't, but I read them. I read the anecdotes of whatever they said. But yeah. I didn't hear those. I didn't hear those, but I heard the classic. We always knew they were going to come for us. Yes. And I heard they're a good team. So that's basically it, right?
Yeah.
No look pass. Yeah, we've ticked that off already. I haven't seen a toss up yet, but like I said, I haven't watched all the games.
Yeah. Number 5, Rumbucks. Been close to, but not quite what I want to see.
A couple of those Ugandan girls almost got sent off.
Oh yeah, I know. I like that though. They were
close. Yeah.
Is this because I'm a defender and I'm like real competitive, and I love that. So I don't know. Like, side note, here's a story. I was playing a 7-year-old one time, and we're playing cards, and she won. So I threw the cards at her. That's how much I love Rumbucks. So I don't know.
You're just a bad sport.
They're too competitive. Anyway, number 6, coaches caught swearing on camera. Well,
once again,
we don't understand language.
Yeah.
If someone can tell us if someone else is swearing, let us know because we're here for it. Number 8, because we've done commentators.
A player yelling, "Let's go," the hands in the air. England weren't pushed too hard in their game that they played. They won quite convincingly, and that's the team that we're targeting for that one. So
I feel like that's coming into the next round. So not this pool, next pool play.
Yeah.
No boo-boo, swillies. What are they called? None of the South African musical instruments anyway. What are they called, Sammy?
Yeah, vuvuzelas, I think.
Vuvuzelas. None of those yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen one. That's okay.
Gutted. And still waiting on the first ever.
Yeah, I'll message Irene. Maybe we can message Irene and get her to get a few of these done. Netball streaker, Irene. How much do we have to pay?
How much do we have to pay to see it? I feel like there might be a lot. We might be pushing it, but I still am waiting for it. Maybe we're waiting for finals round for that one.
It'll be Irene's biggest ever netball contract.
It will be. Now, in episode 2, I bet, I'm pretty sure I bet New Zealand by 10, or do I say 12? But I'm sure 12. I get a Rolex. Oh, I thought I was getting a Rolex. But hey, I was a winner of that.
Yeah, I said Uganda by quite a bit, which was a bit far-fetched, but
you were in there.
I was in there. They did well for a while.
Yeah, had it. What about, okay, we finished the game, the New Zealand game, just quickly. Phoenix got MVP, well deserved. Golden gloves. She got given golden gloves after the game. What's that for? Michael Jackson. What's she up to?
Yeah. I am yet to hear the tale behind that story.
Like, I'm thinking almost like a wooden spoon, but yay, good work because you got golden hands. I don't know, but I'm a little bit like, if you got a grey dress, get some silver gloves because you got SIlver Fern hands. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, we'll do some researching on that one again. See what happens. Oh well, E, I think that covers everything today. For Game 2, Episode 3 of the Netball Podcast Court Session, brought to you by the Export Beer Garden. Join us again tomorrow because we have one more game of the first preliminary round, and that is against Singapore. And what can we expect?
Wow. I don't know if I want to expect, but I'm hoping, and I feel like it should be in SIlver Ferns' hands to score over 100 because I feel like, I don't know if it counts, I don't care. You need to get like point percentage up and like totally. Shot goal. Yeah, so let's get over 100 because Jamaica scored over 100 against someone. Come on.
Get up, Ferns. Get up.
Let's
this is it. The game that counts.
Yeah, I want to see a real defensive game, like a cut and feed, flying for ball. Come on, like don't.
I want feeds from the centre circles. Just stand under the hoop, Grace. It's coming into ya.
Let's go. I want a little bit more movement from our Ga and Wa on defense too. I'm picky.
All right. That's enough netball chat.
But do some mahi, man. But love it. Can't wait. Let's go.
Awesome. Well, catch us here tomorrow, everybody, and we look forward to it.
That's right. Court session. We out.